Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is your boy Taladia Plays, bringing you back with another DCU video, guys. In today's video, we're going to be reacting to James Gunn's announcement that happened earlier this week. I know I'm a little bit late to the party, but I've been really busy, so IRL stuff. But that's besides the point. We're going to react to this, and we're going to give you my final thoughts after watching this. So, without further ado, James Gunn, let's leave it to you.
Hey everybody, I'm James Gunn. I'm the co-CEO of DC Studios. So as many of you know, DC has been disconnected in film and television for a long time. And it's one of, our jobs, mine and Peter's, is to come in and make sure the DCU is connected in film, television, gaming, and animation. That the characters are consistent, played by the same actors, and it works within one story. And if something is outside of that, like Matt Reeves' Batman or Todd Phillips' Joker or Teen Titans Go, that it is clearly labeled as DC Elseworlds, outside of the mainstream DCU continuity. Now, Peter and I have gotten pretty lucky in terms of the 4 projects that are coming out over the next year. First, we have Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Yep. Shazam has always been off kind of in his own part of the DCU, so he connects very well. That moves directly into The Flash, a fantastic movie that I really love that resets the entire DC universe. Then to move into Blue Beetle, a fantastic film about a kid who's a marvelous part of the DCU, and then into Aquaman 2, which leads directly into our next few projects, which I'm going to tell you about now. So, Peter and I, along with a group of very talented writers, have started to map out an 8 to 10 year plan of what DC Studios will be in film, television, and gaming. This first chapter is called Gods and Monsters. Now, what I'm about to tell you is a part of the first chapter. It's not the entire first chapter. The first project is Creature Commandos. Creature Commandos is an animated series. I've written all the episodes. Something we're going to do that's a little bit different at DC is we're going to have characters move into animation, out of animation, usually having the same actor play their voice as who plays them in live action. The next project up is Waller. This is a story of Amanda Waller, played by Viola Davis. Viola Davis is going to team up with members of Team Peacemaker, and this is a story that's been created by Crystal Henry, who did Watchmen, and Jeremy Carver, who created the Doom Patrol. It is a fantastic story that's out of this world, and I can't wait for people to see it. Okay. Next up is the big one, the true beginning of the DCU. This is what I want to see. This is called Superman Legacy. This is being written by me. I'm in the middle of it. I'm having a great time doing it. And Superman will be released into theaters July 11th, 2025. Okay, the next thing is a big premiere HBO television series called Lanterns. This is a story of a couple of Green Lanterns, John Stewart and Hal Jordan, and we have a few other Lanterns peppered in there, but this is really a terrestrial-based TV show, which is almost like True Detective, with a couple of Green Lanterns who are space cops watching over Precinct Earth. In it, they discover a terrifying mystery that ties into our larger story of the DCU. Next is a big movie called The Authority. The Authority is a passion project of mine. It's based on the marvelous Wildstorm characters we are now bringing into the DCU and will interact with all of our primary DCU characters. The Authority are a group of superheroes who think the world is broken and they want to fix it by any means necessary. I think it's a very different look at superheroes.
Why do I get the feeling
we're doing a television series called Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost is the story of Paradise Island, usually known as Themyscira, which is the birthplace of Wonder Woman. It's almost like Game of Thrones with Westeros, but with all of the inhabitants of Paradise Island. The introduction of the DCU's Batman is The Brave and the Bold. The Brave and the Bold is the story of Batman and his actual son, Damian Wayne. This is based on Grant Morrison's great comic book run. Damian Wayne is my favorite Robin. He's a little assassin who Batman tries to get in line, and so this is the story of the two of them and the beginning of sort of the Bat family in the DCU. Next up is a TV
I'll hear
series
my final
called
thoughts
Booster
on that.
Gold. Booster Gold is one of comics' really popular cult heroes. He is a fascinating guy. He's a loser from the future who uses future technology to come back to present day and become a superhero so that people will love him. It is basically the superhero story of imposter syndrome on an HBO Max series. One of my favorite comic book series from last year was Tom King's run on Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And so we're going to turn that into a big science fiction epic film. Now, Superman is a guy who was sent to Earth and raised by loving parents, whereas Supergirl in this story, she is a character who was raised on a chunk of Krypton. She watched everybody around her perish in some terrible way. So she's a much more jaded character. And that brings me to Swamp Thing, the last thing we're going to talk about, a very dark horror story in the origins of the monster who is Swamp Thing. And although it's totally outside of the rest of the DCU, it will still feed into the rest of the stories. Anyway, those are the stories that I can tell you about right now. I've loved the DC characters since I was a child. They're incredibly important to me. I knew that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do something very, very different. One of the things that's very important for me in all of these movies and TV series is that the director's vision and the vision of the writers and all of the creators is unique and something special. Storytelling is always king. That's all that matters to us. And I want to be true to those stories. I want to be true to you guys and really give you something different than you've ever seen before. Anyway, thank you, everybody. I appreciate you watching. I hope this was exciting for you because it's really exciting for me. And I can't wait to start to dive into these stories with you guys on this grand adventure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, James. Well, that was from James Gunn's extraordinary chapter for DCU, which is called Gods and Monsters. Now, I have got an image for all the project that he has got for us. So we're gonna put that up on screen. I'll give you my final thoughts just in a second. Just give me a minute. Okay, and let's full screen it. There we go. All right, so this is the DCU slate. March 17th, we kick off Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Then June, it's The Flash, as you know. Everything is set up for The Flash. And then after that is the Universe Reset. Then we got Blue Beetle, Aquaman. Now, Creature Commandos, I reckon, is another version of the Suicide Squad, basically, which really intrigued by it because it's different characters. Waller as well. I'm glad that they got Viola Davis to come back and to do Amanda Waller again. She's been the most consistent DC character played by one actress. She's been the most consistent person to do that. So I'm glad. Then we come up with a big boy, which is Superman Legacy, which comes out July 11th, 2025, which is like 2 years away. But still, I'm excited for Superman Legacy because it's a Superman in his early 20s, right? We're talking 20, 24, 25, right? We're looking at that. That's the age range that James Gunn has said on Twitter recently, which is really excites me because I hope and pray that whatever James Gunn is doing, it's a New 52 universe reboot and not a rebirth. I think a New 52 universe reboot makes a total sense for Warner Brothers and for Warner Brothers Discovery and DC as a whole to say, okay, well, we've done the kind of like a pre-52 universe take on Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. If you think about it, like Superman's mythology and stuff like that from the Kryptonian heritage to Batman's dark and gritty roots from the Dark Knight Returns comic, and then Wonder Woman obviously was like heavily heavily inspired by some of the newer comics. And but I feel when it comes down to this, I hope and pray that whatever James Gunn is doing with Superman Legacy, I hope it's good, and I hope that it sets the bar and it makes between 6 to 700 million at the box office. If it doesn't reach that, then you know James Gunn's in real trouble. But that's what I personally think. I mean, yeah, am I excited for Gunn's all of Gunn's slate? No, not really. I'm not really excited for everything besides just a few bits and bobs here and there. And the big one, obviously, Superman, which I'm really excited for. Now, obviously, after Superman Legacy, we've got a live action series called Lanterns, which is like a buddy cop series. Lanterns have been in, developmental hell for like a long, long, long time. So, yeah, I'm intrigued, the very least, to see where this buddy cop series goes to. Then The Authority is up next. It's a film, and it's done. Think of The Authority like the Elite, like Superman versus the Elite film. So if you think about it like that, then you know that this film is going to turn out good. I hope. Fingers crossed. Paradise Lost is a live action series on HBO, which is I'm iffy on that because I thought we would have got Wonder Woman, but we didn't. We're getting a prequel. Then the one I'm I would say I'm interested in is Batman Brave and the Bold, or Brave and the Bold, just to say. It's a film based on Grant Morrison's run for Batman and Robin, and it basically just takes place in the Grant Morrison run. This is where Dick Grayson is Batman, so to say, right? In that comic, Dick Grayson is Batman and Damian is Robin. Bruce is lost in time, and because of Final Crisis. Now, obviously, if that's the case, like in the Flash film, that it says, "Oh, Bruce Wayne is lost in time," and Dick Grayson is the Batman for the DCU, then I can see that making sense. And then they don't have to rush everything to, oh well, we got Bruce Wayne now. But I reckon what age uh Dick Grayson might be would be in the 20s, late 20s. I would say 26, 27. I would say he'd be about the same age as Superman, I would say, possibly. Who knows? Booster Gold is up next, live action series. I think Chris Pratt is perfect for this role, because he's one of those people that loves to make, films that are kind of reminiscent of himself, so to say. So like he's done like with Star-Lord, so for Marvel. So it's a similar thing with Booster Gold. I can see him playing that role there. Then we got Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, which is a Tom King straight film straight comic adaptation from Tom King, which I'm interested about because um, Woman of Tomorrow it's a different take of Supergirl, and I would like to see how this Supergirl plays out. We haven't had a Supergirl film since the 1980s, and the last time Supergirl was on our screens in terms of small screen or big screen was in 20 after Crisis on Infinite Earths, which was about 2020, 2021, I'd say. So it's a couple of years. It's been about a couple of years since Supergirl's been on our screens. And then lastly, Swamp Thing is last up, and that one I'm 110% saying that this film is gonna kick butt. Why? Because it's a uh, Swamp Thing is one of those characters that hasn't had a big limelight in the silver screen or even in the small screen, because Swamp Thing had one season on the CW, which straight after that got cancelled. I think it was CW, I'm not too sure. Um, And also in the film, it wasn't that great in the 1980s, 1990s. So for this to have a film, and rumored, by the way, it's been rumored, I saw this on Twitter earlier this week, it's been rumored that James Mangold potentially could be tied to this. So I am definitely, definitely going to be saying, yeah, if James Mangold is a part of this project, then count me in. You've got my money there. All right, next up, obviously in this thing is the DC Elseworld stuff. So we already know Joker's come out and the Batman's already been released last 2019 and 2022 retrospectively. Then we got uh, Joker 2, which comes out next year, October 4th, which is gonna feature Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. So and it's gonna be like a musical film, which is interesting. Then we got the Batman 2, which is a coming out October 2nd, I think it says October 3rd or 2nd, 2025, part 2 for the Batman. And obviously, Rob Pattinson is going to reprise his role as the Cape Crusader. And I, I wasn't really invested in the first one because it took so long just to get to the ending. It took a really long time. That was a 3 hour film. It literally slow. It was a really slow pace. I know it's supposed to be a detective film, but not that slow. Come on. So I hope the second one is better than the first one. Obviously, then you got the Teen Titans Go series, which isn't gonna happen anyway because Teen Titans Go was a success on animation, so that is inevitable. And then we got Superman and Lois, which is rumored to have 2 more seasons. Yes, you heard me, 2 more seasons on the network, which is season 3, which obviously comes out this year, in March, and then season 4 potentially next year and the year after. So next year 2024 and then the year after in 2025 potentially. Or maybe they'll just do 2020 this year and next year, and then obviously the year after the Superman Legacy film. So they'll cut everything off after 2024. So it gives the fans some juicy stuff. Now my question obviously, of course, it's about the video games aspect of it. What is James Gunn gonna do about Arkhamverse? Because the Arkhamverse was after Suicide Squad Killer Justice League is like is James Gunn gonna still allow the Arkhamverse to continue? Maybe have more Batman games or more Superman games with those within that universe, or are we gonna get like, or even the Gotham? The answer to that is, and as well, if the DCU games are gonna be part of this universe, are we gonna get like games for Superman, Batman, Robin, uh, Batgirl, and so on and so forth, right? Just that's the same, just to name a few characters there, right? And I don't like a crypto game, and I definitely think none of the fans want a crypto Superdog game. We've just had one, and it wasn't good. And people want a Justice League game, so let's say James Gunn decides, oh yeah, we'll make a Justice League game for you guys to tie you over. I think that would win the fans over big time. So we'll have to wait and see. But my final thoughts, though, honestly, on this whole DC slate, some of it solid, some of it I'm iffy on, some of it I'm like I'm okay with, like like Swamp Thing, I'm okay with 110%. I'm okay with it. A Superman Legacy, I wish it was Henry Cavill, but it's not Henry Cavill, so I have to accept it, and I can't wait to see what James Gunn does with that. And Brave and the Bold, another one as well, which I'm interested to seeing how far depth that movie is gonna go. And the same thing can be said for Swamp Thing. So Swamp Thing, Superman Legacy, and Brave and the Bold are my nitpickies, as well as Creature Commandos as well. That's what those are the ones I'm interested in, and we'll have to wait and see. But I want to hear from you guys in the comment section below. What are you guys excited to see for the DCU slate? Like, well, not excited for the DCU slate. What is your most exciting project announced for Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters? Sound off in the comment section below. I've been your boy, Taladia Plays. Make sure you follow what I do every 2 to 3 weeks with my co-host DC Comics Gamer. We do have a link to Twitter and Discord server in the description and all that good stuff. So like I said, leave a like, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because when a video does go live, you will be notified. And we're on that road to 300 subs, so let's hope that we get to 300 by the end of the year, or by the end of the spring, I should say, by the end of the winter, I should say. And yeah, thank you for watching, and stay safe out there, and peace.